Hello friends, this is video 07 of Public Administration Paper 2 discussion, and we are discussing Arthashastra. So I already told you there was a elaborate concept of busting, and there was I Sharira and Ve Sharira. Also there was planning prevalent during that time, but that planning was just for revenue fixation, that how much revenue will be coming from which particular section of the society or that particular land or trade. So that I Sharira means that how much taxation we will get, that was fixed, and the state used to plan how to get that much money at any cost. And then Ve Sharira, how to have elaborate expenditure, and everything account was accounted. They were written down in account books. Also, how it is different, because modern planning emphasizes development, while Arthashastra emphasized on control, how to get the revenue. Okay, then again local level governance, so decentralization we will study in this particular video. So you know that Samhartra, I already told you, he is the main home minister. He is the person who is responsible for making the budget. So he was appointed by the king and directly worked under him. So king used to control the whole Janpada, that is whole state. Then there were 3-4 divisions, and those divisions were under Samhartra, and all those divisions were having some officer who was known as Sthanika. So he was divisional revenue officer. He used to directly report to Samhartra. And then in under Sthanika there were Gopas, who used to be the revenue officer for a group of villages, say for example 5 or 10 villages, and they reported to Sthanika. So they somehow made sure that they access how much taxation will they collect from those 10 villages. Then they reported to Sthanika. Then Sthanika, from all the Gopas, he get the information. Then he reported to Samhartra, and then Samhartra used to prepare the budget, same like right now. And under Samhartra direct there were Pradeshtars. They were police officers, so they were used for preventing crime and investigation of crime, same thing like police services of right now. So they were under home ministry. And then at the village administration level there were 3 people: Gramika, that is village headman; Gramaswami, that is owner of village, but he was actually not owner of village, because there was no system of giving the whole village as heredity or property to a particular person, but he was very important person in the village, and he was responsible for the social security of the village too. And then Gram Vradhas, that is village elders. So they were very respected people, and whatever decisions were taken, they were taken between these 3 people. They used to consult with each other and then decide something. Even they used to decide petty criminal or civil issues or any dispute of boundary, etc., within village limits. And the whole concept was welfare state and benevolent monarchy was there during Arthashastra. Then we will see what was Ashoka's. During Ashoka's rule, he used Arthashastra a lot. So he used it as a model of good governance. Good governance means he used to provide roads, then sarais, then taking care of elders, planting trees, and so many things means everything which helps in order to society to live a better life. That is good governance. So our administrative legacy already had good governance and new public management. Right now we say that good governance we have borrowed from World Bank. This is World Bank concept, but actually the good governance was already present during Arthashastra. And new public management, how to manage citizen-centric model and all those things by foreign thinkers. So those things were already present in Indian thought. So we will see appraisal. So appraisal of Arthashastra is that statecraft as well as social and economic concern are mentioned in that particular book, and it shows the practical insight into how government ought to run, keeping moral angle aside, highly materialistic government, which means that practical things are more elaborate, and actual practical considerations are shown rather than theorizing or telling moral things. Moral things are taught, but only within practical boundary. Then political realism rather than Plato's idealism, already discussed about this. Then fault of Kautilya. What is fault of Kautilya is that if you present him as the main leader of Indian political thought, so he has actually done practical, he has told practical things like we should send spice to the neighbors, we should not make sure that they don't develop too much, or we should use assassination and all those things. So this is practical things in order to solve some problems, but they show very badly in today's world if we will compare them with Plato or Aristotle of Greece, who are idealistic. So that's why this is the fault of Kautilya. But still these things whichever were told by Kautilya, they are very, very practical, and they are actually used by states. So we should not have that feeling that this Kautilya is not the face of Indian political thought. He is. And also there is a difference between individual and public morality. Individually everyone is moral, but when it comes to act as a member of society, so there could be a different public morality. And then Arthashastra has high practical utility because it imagines all kind of eventualities and suggests solution. So this is a practical book, right? Okay, so after that we will in next video we will see what are the difference between Kautilya and Weber, and this question is highly likely to come this year or next year. This is very, very possible because this is in hidden syllabus given by Lohit Mathani sir. So we will see it in next video, and this is very small thing, so it will be completed in 2-3 minutes. Thank you.